Hello and welcome to this mid-morning taste challenge. I have two 40% alcohol VSOP brandies. This is Raynal, introduced in 1814. Rare old French brandy. Well, it is actually rare in my town. I've never seen it in my town. I did buy it close to New Orleans. It was $17.99. I see that somebody's advertising it for $12.99. Believe it or not. Be right back. I'm going to go rinse the bottle off, make it look a little nicer. They had it at Trader Joe's, and then they had it at Total Wine, and there was another store, but then it was like $18.99, $17.99. I paid $17.99. I went to one. I was buying other stuff, but I'm seeing a store in Texas advertising it for $12.99. Very smooth old pale. In England, it's sold as 3 barrels brandy. There's the 3 barrels. But in the United States, it's sold as the distillery name, Raynal. And it says on the back, imported by William Grant and Sons. Raynal French brandy is owned by a small company with a long-standing family heritage based in the town of Cognac, southwest France. Carefully handcrafted and aged in French oak barrels. Raynal V.S.O.P. is elegant and rich with an exceptional smooth and velvety taste, but it's not sold as cognac because there's one little part of it that doesn't comply with the cognac rules. Raynal and Company, 1814. And they don't have a website. There's a listing of it on the William Grant and Sons, but they shut down the 3 Barrels website, which wasn't very helpful anyway. They may as well have shut it down. Metal cap. Okay, here's Hartley V.S.O.P. introduced. Hartley brandy introduced in 1943. It utilizes Italian brandy. That's why they show the Italian flag. It has natural flavors, caramel color. I don't know if that's allowed in French brandy, but it's certainly allowed in American bottled at Buffalo Trace by the Sazerac Company. But they don't mention the word Buffalo Trace anywhere on this bottle for good reason, because this can be found for $8.99, which is what I paid for it. It's on sale right now. It used to be really bad, when I tried it years ago, 8 years ago, whatever it was. It was the VS. I haven't seen the VS for a while. Maybe they got rid of it because it was so nasty. These are just Hartley brandy, no class. That was not much better. And then they came out with the VSOP that I started seeing. That used to be a different label where it was harder to read. VSOP wasn't in the blue box. That was not great, but it was better. And then this current version I bought, 2024, it seems like they've really improved it. No, it's not a great product. No, it's not something to track down. No, it's not anything special, but it's definitely better than it used to be. Now, Raynal, like I say, it's one of the top. It is the #1 selling brandy in England. The 3 barrels, as they call it there. It's got 3 barrels on the label for our market, but Raynal around the world, definitely not in the top 5 or 10 in the United States. Might be in the top 50. A commentator from England, commented on my video, and he said, "Well, in England, most people just use that for cooking. They don't really drink it." All right, that might be true. He didn't provide any evidence of that. But anyway, here's it's copper. The Raynal is darker. And the Hartley is very light. If they weren't adding color, if they weren't adding caramel color to this, I think it would be almost clear. And brandy tends to use, that's not a rule, but they tend to use white grapes. So let's go here. And I'll show you what I can show you, which ain't much. William Grant and Sons. You've heard of Grant Scotch, very common Scotch. 100% family owned, 2,800 employees plus, more than that. You can read that at your pleasure or never. Core brands. We've all heard of the core brands: Glenfiddich, Grants, the Balvenie, Hendricks, Gin, Sailor, Jerry, Rum, Tullamore, DEW, Drambuie, Monkey Shoulders, very common. Launch brands, I don't know what that really means. Milagro, heard of that. Reka, heard of that. Cerno, Airstone, yeah, heard of all of those. Local brands: Clan McGregor, very common in Louisiana. Not common, but you can find it. OVD rum, Taboo, never heard of it. 3 Barrels and Raynal, got it in my hand. Woods Navy rum, no. Hudson whiskey, no. Probably won't even, if I hit this link, it probably won't even work. And then they got some innovation brands, which are not too common. Well, Hudson whiskey did show up. New York. Okay. Well, I never heard of that. Okay, yeah, but doesn't mean anything. Might be there's somebody so excited because she's drinking a Grant's product. And you can see they're all over the world. But they don't really give you any good information about Raynal except what's on the bottle. And now there's Total Wine. They got it for $12.99, but that's in Texas. They're not carrying it here right now. Don't know why. But like I say, Trader Joe's has it. Not all the time, but often. I think Dorgnax typically carries it. Martin Wine and Spirits usually has it. But yeah, they're saying rare. For Louisiana, yeah, that's pretty rare. For England, it's common, but they call it 3 Barrels. It's a 5-star brandy. 5-star is VSOP. 3-star is VS. Victor Hugo Street, Cognac, France. All right, anyway. Yeah, that's what a bottle looks like, clear glass. So you're going to do a lot better buying the handle per ounce if you want to save money. But there it is, that kind of basic bottle. It's a basic product. No, I don't want to do a survey. It gets a very bad score. An F. A D, I'm sorry, a D. May as well be an F. Raynal gets a score of a has it been rated? Oh, 90, yeah, much higher rating. 90. 9 out of 10. All right, I got to close my eyes because if I see the darker one, I'm going to know it's Raynal. Now, can French brandy have coloring and flavoring added? This I don't know, but I think I might try to research that today. Because the U.S. government doesn't differentiate. They just say brandy. And then they have that thing. Is coloring allowed? Answer, yes. Do you have to disclose it? Answer, no. Is flavoring allowed? Natural flavoring allowed? Answer, yes. Is disclosure required? Answer, no. I mean, it's pretty clear cut what they're saying on their graphic. Their chart. It's really just a chart spreadsheet. You look at bourbon. Is flavoring allowed? Answer, no. We don't have to go any further because I can't add it. Is coloring allowed? Answer, no. Then you stop there. All right. Smells pretty sweet. Smells very fruity, very grapey, very winey, which makes sense. Brandy is made from distilled wines. It's made from wine that they distill. It is distilled wine. This smells like It's got something added to it, which is a good aroma. I've said this throughout this series. I'm not opposed to the vanilla aroma, but I don't know why they're adding that. I would assume to cover up, mask some unpleasant qualities. At least they're telling you on the bottle that they're doing it. They're not trying to hide, which they're legally allowed to do. Actually, they're not cheating you or tricking you if they don't put that on the bottle. They're not required to. It's just something Sazerac does for whatever reason. I guess they want to be honest. I don't know. I guess that's the reason. This one smells better though. It smells more purified grape, more quality. I know it's the Raynal. I don't have to taste it. I'm going to get it correct on aroma only. This is Raynal. Easy. So, taste time. Yeah, it's pleasant. Wood, you know, the charred oak. Seems like charred oak. It doesn't really have vanilla. It has more like caramel. There is a little vanilla, but it has more like caramel, like those Kraft caramel squares. Kraft caramel cubes. They're like a cube. You can buy it at the store. But those have salt. I mean, this doesn't contain any kind of salt. And if it does, it's a trace amount. Virtually none. This one is grape leaf. It's coming along heavy on the grape leaf and the grape skin, kind of tannic, kind of vegetative. And that's probably why they're adding the flavoring, just to kind of, I say smooth it out, maybe to cover it up, like a cover up. You know, you hear in politics, that's a cover up. They tried to stage a cover up. Maybe they're staging a brandy cover up. Okay, Raynal. Anything offensive about it? Not that I can see. Anything exciting about it? It's a little bit exciting. I mean, it's not exactly amazing by any means, but it's pleasant. If you're thinking of bourbon, think along the lines like Jim Beam or Jack Daniels type of thing, Evan Williams. If it was a tequila, it'd be more like a Jose Cuervo type of product. Rum, it would be like your Bacardis. It just your main frame, regular stuff. Nothing amazing, but nothing offensive. Hello, Herbie in India. Good morning to you. But yeah, nothing offensive, nothing bad, no problem. Do I regret paying the $17.99? No, I don't. It's not like I'm going to run out and buy it again, but I'm happy I bought it. I was seeing it on the shelves for a few years, and I was interested. It doesn't say it. The bottle doesn't say it's owned by William Grant. It says it's owned by a small family distillery. But they probably don't have enough money to market it and put it on the shelves themselves, you know, around the world. So they probably got an agreement with William Grant, where they're not technically owned by them, but they may as well because it's under their control. But maybe they don't care because as long as it's going out there and profitable. Now look at Lining. They signed an actual ownership agreement with Miller Brewing Company in 1988, where it became owned by Miller. Now the Leinenkugel family still ran it. If you looked at their website, even one of the Leinenkugels would take you on the tour if you got the premier tour. But what did Miller, meaning Molson Coors, announce last month? They're shutting down the brewery. By February, I think they said by February of next year, they're going to shut down Leinenkugel's brewery, which has been there since 1867. They said it wasn't profitable. The family can't stop them because they don't own it. They just work for them. Basically, they became employees. Now, the family was all upset. The Leinenkugels were like, it crushed all our dreams. This is what we built our family upon. It's terrible. Hey, well, you sold out. But then if they hadn't gone, you know, it might have gotten shut down in Instead of 2025, it might have gotten shut down in 2015 or 2005. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, rest in peace, Leinenkugels. Burley Sullivan. Now, Burley Sullivan says, you. Cheers back to you. Now, they say they're going to still make Leinenkugels beers. Probably be a limited amount. Probably won't be anything too innovative. It'd just be a handful of things just to keep the trademark running. But it's a sad story, similar to the Schlitz collapse in '82, but that had been coming for a long time. These things don't happen overnight. I hadn't really seen a lot of Leinenkugels on the shelves the last couple of years, and I kept wondering, well, what's going on with that? Because the Oktoberfest beer didn't show up for 2 years, and last year they did have the red ale, the red lager, which is wonderful. But I just thought, I don't know, something doesn't seem right. And you get the summer shandy all the time. That's just like lemonade mixed with beer. Big whoop. I mean, lemonade and beer is all right, but I wouldn't be looking to drink it. And Miller said it didn't sell really that well. But if you're not selling it, you're not going to make money on sentiment. Now, why did William Grant drop the Raynal website? Because there's no link anymore. There used to be a link, and there was a website. Wasn't much to it. Like I said, it was pretty pitiful. Something about a sweepstakes you could join. I guess they figured it wasn't bringing in any customers, and it was a waste of paying the whatever it cost them a month to keep it running, which probably wasn't that much. They did the same thing with Clan McGregor. Had a pretty nice little website going into detail about the product. They probably figured, man, let that thing die. It's going to sell anyway. We know who buys Clan McGregor. They probably never looked at their website. So they let it go defunct. And I still see Clan McGregor everywhere, mostly in the huge plastic handle bottles. The glass bottles seem to have disappeared. Luckily, I got 2 before they went away. They were selling them for $5. Now I see why. In India, there's no rest in peace. No? Okay. I'm sorry to hear that. Anyway, Hartley. Yeah. Well, let's go with Raynal first. Raynal. Obviously the better product without any kind of argument. I mean, I don't see how anybody would taste this and think it's not as good as Hartley. And they wouldn't think it's clearly better. It's a much better product. And supposedly there's some Raynal specialty, like XO and expensive, but I've never seen that. So would I buy it? Yes. Would I go over $20? Absolutely not. If they got people in Texas selling it for $12.99, why would you want to pay over $20? You could search around and you might, well, if you live in Texas, you might get it for $12.99. If you live around here, you probably still find it for $17.99. Yeah, worth it. It's worth it. No problem. I love that oakiness. Now, Hartley, well, interestingly, it's lost every single taste challenge in this series. Like, it's beat. Oh, I forgot to do, I ran to France. I ran to Mexico, I ran to France, and now I ran to Mexico, I ran to Spain. Now I'm into French brandy. But, I forgot about that other shelf in the dining room. The Classic Club VSOP. And the, what's that one from Texas? It's not worth it. It's no good. It tastes like they went berserk with vanilla flavoring. Like they got a deal and they dumped it all in just to get rid of it. I don't know. It's weird. What's the name of that stuff? Oh, I can't remember, but I'll find out and I'll show you the website. Oh, it's from Heaven Hill. I don't know what Heaven Hill was playing around with. That 1889. That's what it's called. 1889. Royal Brandy. That's right. RB. Royal Brandy. 1889. Which actually, from my research, may actually go back to 1889, originating in California, but now being bottled in Kentucky by Heaven Hill. Might still come from California. Oh, that thing is a mess. That is a mess. Come on, Heaven Hill. Let's go. Let's get it together. Why are you trying to sell this? I paid $18.99. It is glass. Well, at least they put it in glass. $18.99 or $19.99. Some man, if I had a chance to buy it again, I wouldn't pay $1.99 for it. It's definitely going to lose to Hartley, and Hartley hasn't won yet. Hartley has not won a challenge yet, but it'll beat that Royal Brandy 1889. I kid you not. So I got to remember to go grab those. We got to backtrack to the USA. That's okay. Heck, thought I had it. No, I just overlooked them. Yeah. Then we'll go back to France. We'll do the Saint Remy. Saint Remy is going to beat. Saint Remy is going to beat. And it's a VS. No, it's the EXO. Oh my goodness, the EXO. Saint Remy EXO. It's going to beat Hartley like it stole something. I feel sorry for Hartley. Really, it's going to get beat. Oh, so very badly. Now the Odessa from Ukraine. Well, I did only pay $11.99. I don't love it. It's not nasty. They claim they age it in French Limousin oak barrels, Limousin oak. And they said that the French cognac people helped them to develop Odessa back in the 1860s. Comes from a company called V.S.O.P Cognac Distillery of Ukraine. Now, you say cognac, Ukraine? I don't think that really works. That's right. That's not allowed, but Ukraine is not under that protocol, so they just call it a cognac distillery, even though it's not French. It's French grapes to a large extent, and it's French oak barrels, but it's not made in France. But they call it cognac because they're not under. But if they join the European Union one day, then it would have to be rebranded as V.S.O.P Brandy Distillery. Okay. I'm thinking Odessa may not beat Hartley. That could be close. Now, that could be a problem, that one. That could be a little trouble because Odessa seemed like they're putting a plenty amount of flavoring in it. So they make brandy in Italy. They distill brandy in Germany, Ukraine, of course, France, naturally, United States. Don't know about Mexico. Don't know about Canada. Never heard of that. I don't think England, because why would they be importing it from France if they were making their own? Portugal, don't know. I work with a man. He claims he makes his own brandy, but I'm not too sure if he's telling me the truth. He claims he does. I never seen it. I'm hearing about it and not seeing it. But yeah, anyway. All right. So, but there are people in Louisiana that do not home brew, but home venting. They make their own wine. There are people in Louisiana who do make their own wine. Strawberry wine, usually, because Louisiana is a big strawberry state. Blackberry wine. Maybe wine made from tangerines and satsumas, other oranges. Don't know if that's true, but seems plausible. He let me try some of his home production once, and I dumped it out. It was so full of sugar. I said, this man must be crazy. Why he had to add sugar to it? It probably would have been good on its own, but it was, that thing was, I mean, my own grandfather, I helped my grandfather make cherry bounce one time. He had cherry trees. They're still there. And my family does still own those acres, but he got all these black cherries. They're little tiny cherries. Look like little, I don't know what they look like. They're little, cherries like that, but they're like little tiny black cherries. And he washed them off or whatever he did. And then he poured them in this big pressure cooker. 2 big scoops. He filled it up about a third of the way. Took 2 scoops of sugar, poured it in. Then he told me, here's some money. Go across the highway to Katzenbestoff State Highway. Tulane, Katzenbestoff, K&B, Katzenbestoff, and get some vodka. And I think it was Taka. I'm pretty sure it was Taka. It's enough to buy 2 big jug bottles of Taka. Back then, $20 would buy you 2 jug bottles. So I brought it back. A little while later, he uncapped them. He poured both jug bottles of the vodka in there all the way. Filled it up. Then he just tightened down the screws on the pressure cooker, tight as he could get it. Then he just left it in that downstairs porch. He had an apartment he used to rent upstairs. It was an entire apartment. And below was like a bathroom, a shower, and a kitchen. It was actually a kitchen. They were cooking there all the time. They had a big bench and a table where they would eat and barbecue. And they had a boiling room on the side where they would boil shrimp, crawfish, crabs. They had a big cast iron sugar pot, which they never made sugarcane sugar there, but they had inherited it from somebody in the family, I guess. I don't know what happened to that thing. That wasn't because crystallization of sugar was developed by Etienne de Boré in Louisiana, and that's what got sugarcane production so big. Bag sugar, paper bags of sugar. But and they had that thing. Like I said, don't know. It might still be there. Don't know. But he put the pressure cooker clamps down on it, let it set for 6 months. Set there 6 months. And then he slowly bled off the pressure because that's fermenting. Those grapes are fermenting with the sugar and all that. And then he strained it out, and then he served during Christmas what he called cherry bounce, which was a cherry wine. But he could have taken that and distilled it into a liquor, but he didn't have a still. There are people in Louisiana that do, but I won't be discussing that right now. But anyway, yeah. So Hartley, it's good, but that's it. It's good and not by much, but it's good. Raynal is like literally good. You don't have to like kind of question it. Yeah, it's fine. I would like to try the XO, which I'll never see in my life, so forget it. But yeah, the clear and present winner. Like I said, we're going to backtrack to the United States. So next time, look for the Classic Club, another Sazerac thing. Oh man, that's stuff. And then look for that 1889. Like I said, from Heaven Hill. I don't know what game they're trying to play with that thing. And then we'll go back to France with the Saint Remy Martin, Saint Remy. That'll be a catastrophe. That video, I watch it. I probably would watch. I like to watch. I like to watch catastrophes. All right. Anyway, thank you and have a nice Thursday.